Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and thank you for joining us on another great Star Wars Saturday. I am joined again by our friend, our co-host, Oti. Oti, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, we're all fine. And join us again, our friend, Rachel. How are you doing? So let me redo that intro. Great Rogue One, one of the greatest Rogue One fans, Gene Erso fans out there. If we're talking Andor, you were on our call list. Who's going to be one of our guests? It was Rachel. How are you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing all right. I'm wearing my Stardust necklace that my sister bought me for my birthday.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Buns like Ray, apparently, is what I'm bringing to this Andor podcast because I didn't want to redo my hair today.
That's fine. I have bedhead a little bit.
I basically have no hair.
Yeah, you don't add anything to this part of the conversation, but
No.
I was more worried that you both have been hit by hurricanes. So I'm just glad that you're both here and both safe.
Yes, we are.
yes, thank you. Let's just get into it real quick. As everyone knows, first, Puerto Rico was hit by a big hurricane a couple of weeks ago. We talked about it last week. There's a lot of places that you can help. There's links just running down in the bottom of the screen right now, plus on the description of this video. There's those same ones and some other ones that you can find and just help as you can. This goes straight to the people on the ground in Puerto Rico, helping out, not the government. We're talking Andor, so don't give to the government. And then, of course, for the Amidala Help Amidala Initiative for Equality Texas, and of course the National Network of Abortion Funds and the What Choice fundraiser. There you go, Oti, representing. And all those links are down in the description of the video. So as you can help, describe, it's all down there. But yes, Florida, I was extremely lucky because I'm not on the coast. I'm in North Central Florida. So I'm about from the west coast, I guess, I'm about 50 miles away. And then from the from the east coast in Jacksonville, I'm about 100 miles away or 90. From the west coast, I'm about 50 or 60 miles. So usually when there's a storm coming, we kind of escape the brunt of it. But this one, the way it was originally coming, was going to go through Tampa and then go north. And we're just right in the middle of it. But lucky for me, unlucky for everyone down south, it came in about 50 or 60 miles south of Tampa and then just went through Orlando. And everyone has seen the photo. So, yeah, it's bad for everyone out there. We extend our thoughts for them. Hopefully everyone's doing okay. Everyone that I've known from Florida, in terms of family, they had some on the East Coast and other podcasters and YouTubers out there. They're fine, and that's good to know. But, yeah, it's difficult out there right now. All right.
From the Midwest, we just get tornadoes, so you get 10 minutes of warning.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I don't know. South, you have the hurricanes. Midwest, you have the tornadoes. Earthquakes on the other side. Snowstorms.
Oh, we get earthquakes too. They're just not very big.
That's awesome.
They're just not very big, and I sleep through them.
And Puerto Rico is currently, hurricane central, earthquake central, everything central.
Yeah, it's bad out there, unfortunately, for a lot of places. But
it's the end of Ghostbusters, where they're like,
all right, but today, excuse me, we're here to talk a little bit Star Wars, a little bit of other stuff. We gotta start with Andor. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's talk Star Wars and the Andor Files.
I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
Has he?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say that every time because
I know.
I like the bit and I like to see people angry about it. It's like, dude, take a chill pill.
Yes. I saw something that I don't know if Tony Gilroy said it, that supposedly Andor is like 9 years old in that flashback. And I'm like, my son is 9. He doesn't look that old, but that's okay. It's Hollywood 9-year-old. We'll let it pass.
Hollywood 9-year-olds can be either side because the girl who played little Leia was a little younger than Leia, and then there's other ones that are older. And
Age in Star Wars is a spectrum
fine.
or something.
Don't.
I don't know.
I am a timeline person, and I'm even learning to relax.
Yeah, it's needed. Speaking of timelines, there's one thing about timelines I'll talk in a minute, but yeah, sometimes whatever, just make it work. Give me a good story. Oti,
just tell me what it is so I can reconfigure my timeline.
Oti, who's there in the chat? I think our friend.
Oh, yes, we have Dale. Dale says, hello there, Alberto. Oti and Rachel. He also says rebellions are built on stardust. Nice play of words.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's excited.
Let's do it. Let's talk Andor. So as we start, of course, I'm going to start with you, Rachel, as our guest. But last week, Oti, I don't know if you remember, I said at the end, a lot of people after the first 3 episodes were already saying this is the best Star Wars TV series out there, the best things Disney has done. And I wasn't there. I said, maybe, but I'm not there right now. After episode 4, I think I have one foot on that bandwagon. This episode was on another level. Rachel, coming into episode 4, we all know what a huge fan you are of Rogue One. First 3 episodes, just very quick thoughts.
I definitely think it's up there for Star Wars television for me. I think it's probably some of the best acted Star Wars that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all in. I got up at 2 a.m. for the first 3 episodes because I took the day off work. Because I was about to go on vacation. So shout out to my mother who was on a 6-day road trip with me during the first week of the Andor craze.
Oh my.
But yeah, it was, I thought it was some fantastic Star Wars televisions. I'm not much for ranking, like as stuff's airing, I'll rank later. But episode 4 confirmed that this is some of the best Star Wars TV we've gotten. Not that any other Star Wars TV has been bad, but this is the kind of Star Wars that I live for. I like the Jedi, I like the bounty hunters, but Rebellion is my Star Wars. So
yeah, and I'm starting to go into that pace that we always say, oh, Star Wars is for everyone. And what does that mean? That everyone needs to love everything? No, that's little different pockets of Star Wars. You like the animated series, the Rebellion, the Jedi, and we're starting to expand a lot of that. And I'm seeing a lot of people know this is my type of Star Wars. And even though I prefer the Jedi and the Force stuff, Rogue One was great, and this is just going that same path. Oti, last time you were a little bit angry going into the first 3 episodes because you were trying to get back home to Puerto Rico on your flight.
I had no power. I had no power. That was the issue. So, hurricane related also. So my girlfriend is in Florida. She's on the East Coast, Southeast. So she really was not gonna get affected, but her area had a bunch of tornadoes.
Yeah.
So that night she had her phone on and the alarm went off, I think like 3 times, like literally take shelter. And so I was up all night, trying to pay attention. So when 4 a.m. like came along, I was like extremely tired. I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's watch Andor, get my head out of it. Like, so I won't lie, I was falling asleep watching the episode because slower pace and everything. It's not that 4 a.m. friendly, but I have a lot of good things to say about the episode. I was not angry watching it. I was more tired and drained emotionally.
Yeah, I was just last kind of hurricane beat. Am I gonna have to watch in the afternoon because I have work on Wednesday, or or is something classes because I work at the university? If classes get shut down, the university gets shut down. So I was kind of, okay, I'll wait till the end of the day. So yay, no work. I can watch Andor, but there's a hurricane coming. So kind of that balance. But
I was off this Wednesday too because I was coming back from a trip, but I didn't watch until I got home. So I didn't watch on Wednesday for the 4th episode until like 10 o'clock at night when I got back to my house.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And I managed to remain unspoiled. So either I did a really good job of my Twitter mutes or people are being nice this time.
I'm seeing both. I'm seeing some people that just go and just post something, but nothing too kind of, oh, Vader just showed up.
There hasn't been that much to spoil.
Yeah. Just Luthen and his post that we all love. I'm just getting ready. That's what's out there early. But if you don't know, it's out of context.
Me getting ready to do customer service. Really?
Maybe for literally any work call. I was talking about this with a friend the other day. We'll get to that scene.
Yeah. So let's start. Like I said, this is, at least this episode was everything that I wanted from this show. The first three started showing kind of those quote unquote Imperials, because the corporals are, you're not really kind of at that level. But that mundane day-to-day job we started seeing with the guy eating the blue spaghetti and getting yelled at while he's on lunch break, and the other guy's gonna take me all day to do this. But now we saw the Empire, like the ISB kind of, this is how you're supposed to do things. And they're not, it's not Tarkin level or the Emperor, it's kind of mid-level. So I want to see those people. And the three that they brought, and we'll talk about them, but where's my Partagaz, Deidre Miro, and Blevin. Come on, all three, great in their roles. But I'm starting, again, this is what I wanted to see for this show from the Imperial side, so I'm glad that we got that. And then the whole episode was great. Rachel, let's start. It kind of starts with Luthen taking Cassian to Aldhani and kind of bringing him into this plan. Hey, you're going on a mission. I need you to steal some Imperial payroll. That's all. And then, of course, we get a little bit more. We saw a blue kyber crystal. We get a little bit of background. So this intro scene, how did you enjoy it? What were some of the highlights for you?
I loved it. About the point he said, we both know you're going to die fighting these bastards, I might have screamed into a pillow because I'm like, yes, stop reminding me.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. I love Stellan Skarsgård in everything I've ever seen him in. So I was very glad that he's in this show, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah. This is one of those things that a lot of people say, hey, I don't want famous people in Star Wars, but then you bring someone like Stellan, you okay, this is a quality actor.
You read my mind, Alberto. I was going through that same line. I'm the kind of person who's like, really, big name actor in Star Wars? Even with Benicio del Toro, who's not that huge, he's huge in Puerto Rico. So I was like, is that gonna take me out of it? It does a little bit, but with Stellan Skarsgård, I was a little bit worried. But this episode, I was like, this is why you bring Stellan Skarsgård into Star Wars, because this is the kind of performance he can give you, and only an actor of that caliber can give you. So, I
would say. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was gonna get lost. So,
I would say that it would be good. Like Stellan Skarsgård is a fantastic actor, but he doesn't have like that one role he's known for. When it's an actor that's like known or does one main thing, it can be hard to have them in Star Wars because you'll always think of that one thing. But he's done so many things. It's not like I'm trying to think of an actor like that. Like if you have that one thing you're known for, sometimes it's weird if like I guess Robert Downey Jr.'s done a couple of things, but it would have been kind of weird if Iron Man is suddenly in Star Wars.
It would, and it helps that he's basically like a character actor. He's kind of a chameleon, but it's really working for me. I'm loving the character.
Yeah.
If you've never seen the remake of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, he's in that one, and he is very scary.
Yeah.
Yes. Or how my parents, my dad's a big Star Wars fan. My mom's a casual Star Wars fan. They were watching the show, and when he shows up, they're like, "That's the guy from Mamma Mia." Like, yes, renowned actor Stellan Skarsgård, or the guy from Mamma Mia. Yes.
I love Mamma Mia.
I'm a huge fan of Mamma Mia. I'll rock to ABBA every single day.
My thing about Mamma Mia is it's all these really famous actors, and they look like they're having a good time. I'm like, y'all should be allowed to have fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
or for people of my generation, that's Bootstrap Bill. Yep, he's Bootstrap Bill in Pirates of the Caribbean.
I had never connected this.
Yep.
Oh my god. Alberto, let's talk about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
So I love Dead Man's Chest a little bit, but I like the first one. Okay, no, I'm done.
Well, Dead Man Chest, come on. I think that's my favorite. You can't
Really?
go wrong
It's
with
my-
Bill Nye. Is that?
Oh, he's so good.
Man,
But that entire series is that they got a bunch of very, very good actors in a franchise and then just kind of let them go with it. And they just
The
Let me
first
change
scenery.
that. Okay, I guess we're now in a war between fandoms again, just changing stuff.
The first one is the best. The third one I think is the worst of the trilogy, but it's my favorite.
See, I
I
love
have to rewatch that.
At World's End.
It's
because-
ridiculous, but it's great.
All right, so coming back to Star Wars, but still not to Andor, because we're talking about big name actors, and I guess it'll be my fault as a Star Wars podcaster. So I didn't mention that Christian Bale said, "Yeah, I would love to be in Star Wars." Is that a big name actor that's gonna throw people off? I know he kind of transforms himself, but
There's only one role he can do that will not take me out, and it would be, you see, Alberto and Mark and Rowe.
the paths are open for me to come.
Yes.
Just give us something, Mark and Rowe. We don't care who plays it.
The
We
thing
just want
is, though, Christian Bale, like you said, is a big name actor, and we're all going to think of Batman, at least.
Yes,
you
but
know.
I'm a hypocrite, and if it's Christian Bale, I'll let it just slide.
Yes.
He did Newsies. He's done a lot of things.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
done a lot of different stuff where he's put himself in different roles. He was one
He
of the
was
voices in
Thor?
Pocahontas.
He was?
And he was the Panther in the Jungle Book that Snoke directed. You gotta check it on Netflix. He's a
Oh, yeah.
Mowgli, Adventures or whatever, the Legend of Mowgli. Anyway, so Mimban. They mentioned Mimban. I was
They
there,
do.
and my mind just went, wait. Timelines. Where's Solo at this point? Was Chewbacca down there and Andor almost throw down? I freaked out when I heard Mimban. Give me
I
Enfys
did
Nest.
too. I started Googling.
Yeah.
So funny thing, I have a Star Wars page-a-day calendar on my desk at work to go with my Star Wars Women 12-month calendar
Yeah.
on my desk. I like calendars. I have a lot of them. But like when I came back to work after my vacation, Mimban was the first day on my
Yeah.
calendar. And I'm like,
Yeah, because when Luthen jumps to hyperspace and it just goes, and Cassian's like, whoa, what's powering this? And like, it's coaxium. Come on, you gotta know this. And then they mention Mimban, and I'm like, did Enfys Nest give Luthen Rail some coaxium? Can we start connecting these dots and have Enfys at some point later?
if we
Yes,
see
please.
Memphis Nest in this show, like I'm going to be in your chat screaming because you will not be able to contain me.
Oh, I'll be there also. Ooh, Mo is here. How you doing, Mo? Thanks for joining us. And she's gonna be actually on our show in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. She'll be here for episode 6. Mo will be here halfway through this.
If Enfys Nest shows up, you guys are gonna have to check up on me.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
I think we have a problem because we all have to check on each other, so we're not gonna be able to check on anyone because we're all just gonna.
If Enfys Nest shows up, please check up on us.
Yes.
And when Saw Gerrera shows up, we're all going to have to check on Mo.
Oh man, there was a mention of Saw Gerrera, so we know he's coming. First mention is Saw Gerrera. I saw you sleeping. You're gone. You're not gonna survive this.
Yeah.
So Oti, we apart from Mimban, and we'll get to all the other Easter eggs that weren't gonna appear in this show in a few minutes. We have a blue kyber crystal, and then we start getting mentioned for more rebel cells that Luthen might be kind of working with, and Andor kind of mentioned, oh, this is the alliance, partisan groups. You guys are all the same. So we start getting that very similar to Jean's story when we meet her in Rogue One. Kind of, you guys are all the same. And Rachel, you know from that novel where her whole life kind of goes disarray. But Oti, this introduction to Luthen taking Cassian to Aldani.
So it was great. As I said, the show is very well acted, and it's interesting because I think in this episode we see like 3 or 4 different Luthens, and here's the first one, because immediately when they get out of the ship, we see a different Luthen. And which one's the real Luthen? We have no idea.
I think it was something we talked about on our kind of speculation. Who was the real Luthen, that we were in one or the other one? And now we're starting to see all of them. And we don't know. I want to say it's the one that's with Cassian, but
Me
at the
too.
same time, he said if he's a problem, kill him. That's why we hired him. We don't care.
With that line, I'm not sure because he does give him the Kyber crystal, but what if it's not a Kyber crystal? It's just a piece of glass, and he just gave it to him to make him feel special or something.
So I saw on Twitter a couple of minutes ago, Hope Molinas kind of put it out that what if it's kind of a tracking device or something? It's not really a Kyber, just a way to keep track of for Cassianism. Maybe.
I'm not gonna. My heart can't take it if Luthen betrays him.
To be honest, give
I
us
mean,
that
Cassian's gonna be fine until Rogue One, and
for a couple of more years.
But they might hurt my baby.
I mean, have you guys stopped to think that we're literally just watching the last years of Cassian Andor? That is what the show is.
These are a little bit morbid.
The final years of Cassian Andor.
Yeah, it's like, man, we should have named that this segment. It said the Andor Files, the last years of Cassian Andor. For season 2, we'll do that. The last 4 years of Cassian's life, or just do a countdown. But then we get into this.
Did you have to say that like that?
He'll be okay. Like Otis said, he'll go out with a bang. So we sorry, Rachel.
To be fair, I also would like Felicity Jones to hug me as I die, but
that's a great death.
But Rachel, we get the introduction of Vel, which is kind of leading this other, I don't know, rebellion cell or whatever you want to call it.
I know nothing about her, but I love her.
Yes, and then she's the leader of this group planning this weird mission that have 3 days. But again, this was another great introduction to a character, not just her, and I'm sorry I don't have the name of the other 5 people from her crew, that these are characters that just in one scene, we already are invested with all of them. We talked about that last week. Everyone has a name. Everyone has a backstory. Everyone's invested. It's not just, that's the red shirt from Star Trek. They're important. So again, this introduction to this...
Not all of them are going to make it, and I'm not ready for it again.
I think they're all going to die.
I don't think anybody's getting out of this show alive.
No.
Cassian is.
Yeah, but like we know
later.
that final scene of season 2 is him getting on the ship that takes him to the start of Rogue One and the Reign of Kefrine. Yeah, and I know how far he gets from there, and it's not very.
Like a week.
Very. Did you freak out, Toti, when they mentioned Saw Gerrera? And I don't know the other names that he mentioned. I don't know who they are.
Not really. Sarg, like we already know he's gonna be on the show, so the surprise factor, like, kind of went away. So yeah. I actually thought he was going to show up in this episode.
Yeah, maybe, because we know maybe Luthen is for the next episode. He's going there because he's playing all these puzzle pieces at the same time. Yeah. I got Andor. I'm doing this on Aldhani. I gotta go talk to Mon Mothma, and he even tells her, "I got a lot of mouths to feed. I can't be foraging. I gotta give me money. I gotta go do stuff." So I think his next stop might be Saw Gerrera. Maybe Memphis Nets somewhere. But also, we've talked about, and a lot of people about, and even the Diego Luna and everyone's talk about this is a refugee story, colonization, all that. We start seeing a little bit more with Aldhani when Vel kind of tells Cassian, well, this used to be a settlement of tens of thousands of people that were here for centuries, and then the Empire kind of
took them out.
Got rid of them in a decade. No, they didn't kill them, just kind of move them down to another part. So again, we're starting to see a little bit more in-your-face kind of colonization. Do you think this is going to be a kind of a point as we go on with this story, kind of showing how the Empire is not just taking over, but displacing people?
I think it is, especially as we get into Cassian's backstory with what happened in Canary, however deep we go into that. But I think it's definitely going to be a thing because, we have explicit moments like this, but in the previous 3 episodes, the Empire is it's not even present. They exist, but we don't see them. But we feel, that boot of the Empire stepping on everything. So I think it'll be a recurring theme.
Yeah. What do you think, Rachel? Is this something we're going to keep seeing more? And do you think the way this show is showing it works? I know a lot of people don't like that. Oh, it's too obvious or too in your face. You think they're making a good kind of way of showing this? and still kind of place it in the Star Wars universe?
I mean, George Lucas said back in 77 that the Empire was the U.S. going into Vietnam. So it's always been this force of colonization. And I think that it's doing a really good job where, like you said, it wasn't like with the dudes in blue, the corporate security. We're getting this idea that they're almost an arm of the Empire without being an arm of the Empire because they're furthering the same goals. So I really like what they're doing. I feel it in every episode. And I also feel the Empire in, because we know, like in the original Star Wars, obviously there wasn't diversity in the Empire. And as they've added that in, you're still getting the stories of the people, like the women we're seeing. Every hair has to be in place and you have to work twice as hard to be taken seriously.
Which is not funny, but they made kind of a mention to it in the episode when, what's his name? I have it here. I got too much stuff. Portagas kind of says, hey, that's what we hired you, but you got to do more. Or people are expecting more from you. Yes, Kyber. Okay. Oh, man. I can't wait to talk about the ISB because I love every single one there. But it's funny, Rachel, that you say that this is something that George Lucas brought in 1977 because Twitter tells me that Star Wars is not political. So I don't know who to believe.
Twitter tried to tell me that Star Trek wasn't political. And I'm like, have you seen, please, thank you for playing. Please exit Twitter. Try again tomorrow.
Yes. Belated happy birthday to Rachel. Had a birthday.
Wait, what?
Yeah. She
didn't have a birthday.
Happy birthday,
sorry.
Rachel.
The other Rachel. Sorry, I said Rachel. Amy girl.
Oh, hi, Amy. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
To say my birthday was in March. Did I get older and not know?
Yes. Sorry, just watching Andor kind of takes life out of us. Well, no, belated birthday to Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy.
Unless I got it wrong, because who knows?
Her birthday was recently.
Yes. So let's get to Luthen. We talk a little bit about Luthen Rail, his backstory. He has all these other cells. And we're seeing how important he is for the rebellion. I thought it was just going to be, he's a new guy. That's it. But he apparently is one of the main guys that started this rebellion. Are you surprised by this, Oti? How
I honestly, I thought he was going to be like a senator or something. And because we saw him with the wigs and everything in the trailers. So
that's what I thought too.
But I'm like pleasantly surprised with what they're doing with the character. It's so much more interesting than just being like a male counterpart to Mon Mothma, like a senator who's helping out. So it's been very interesting, and it's one of the things that's keeping me very engaged with the show.
Yes, we have Bail Organa for that. He'll come soon. Exactly. But Rachel, let's get into the scene, the meme scene, basically. But again, a great acted scene with him kind of first bringing down that giant makeup mirror that my wife's son said, that's a great one. But goes through the whole process. Goes through the whole process of changing himself. It's not just, I got a wig, I'm a different person. It's the whole thing. The outfit, demeanor, how you express yourself, the fake smile, the way, you gotta get my hands all working this way. Take me to that process as you were watching this scene and watching him transform into a new character.
It was really interesting because we've seen like the idea of characters playing both sides, but we've almost never seen the transformation. Yeah. We usually, like with Bail Organa, the only times we've seen him in the Imperial Senate was the very few times at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and the rest of the time we've seen him, being Bail Organa.
Yeah.
But we've had to see him transform from one persona to another, and somebody pointed out that there's like a half second he checks in the mirror, and then he has like a half second where he can fall back into himself before he has to put it on again.
Yeah.
And if you've ever worked customer service or anything involving politics, and you're, that moment you're alone in the restroom, you can kind of take your face off and take a minute. The second someone walks in, your guard goes back up.
Yeah. I used to work at an electronics store, and they said if someone comes 10 feet from you, you have to greet them and ask if they need help. So yeah, you got that from 15 to 10 feet. You're starting, okay, I gotta change. I was chilling here and I gotta put on my professional face and try to help this person buy a printer, which I don't want to sell, but okay. But until we go from there to now, he's
No.
antiques deal.
I want to talk about this scene.
I know. Okay, so transition from that to then meeting him in this antique saloon or whatever where he's at. Just tell me the whole process.
Yes. Okay. So this is probably one of my favorite moments in all of Star Wars. This little thing, because I always say the difference between a great movie and in this case a TV show and a good movie or TV show are the details. And we and Maggie talked about the scene when Andor looks at himself in the reflection and he has that little moment. Great. And here, we can just have him dress up and go out and change characters and we'd be fine. But no, we get that little moment with him just looking in the mirror, doing the laugh, doing the meme thing. And I don't know, man. I felt so identified with him because how I am at work is very different from how I am at home. I'm pretty much the same goofy guy, but I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, I would still get dressed up for work, even if I was working at home. And my girlfriend was like, why don't you just stay in your pajamas? I'm like, because I got to get a character. Because there's something about getting dressed and I've done that same thing before a Zoom meeting. I'll get in a little bit earlier and start working my work laugh and how I'm going to sit and everything. And the minute I'm waiting for everyone to join, I'll be like, okay. So I just love that little detail. And that's why you bring selling Skarsgård, but that's also what someone like Tony Gilroy gives you. Yeah. And let's transition then to, because it also, this whole sequence, man, it keeps some of my favorite Star Wars and anything. I love the, let's say, gallery of Easter eggs because we get Mandalorian armor. I'm sure it's not his, but Plo Koon's mask is somewhere there. The bat thing he shows, Mon Mothma. There's Star Killer's armor from Force Unleashed.
Don't forget the World Between World, the brother.
The Mortis thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that kind of dispels this whole shenanigans or whatever people had 2 weeks ago about Easter eggs versus no Easter eggs, right? They're there. That's fine. And that's the first thing that people kind of jumped in. And I was hoping, I think it's been the case that we haven't kind of lost ourselves, or this episode hasn't kind of lost itself in those Easter eggs compared to the story and the writing, because the story and writing are just taking this to another level. But then we see him there with his assistant, which I guess Star Wars Databank put something earlier today saying that she's important in the rebellion or something going forward, helping Luthen, I guess. Mon Mothma comes around. We've been waiting for Mothma. Mon Mothma Monday. I can't wait. But Rachel, we get the senator. Oh, yes, I'm here to buy something for the day of days of my husband. Can you show me something from the back, basically? And then, again, changing characters from this happy senator to they're watching me. I got a new driver. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm the first one that's going to fall. So, Rachel, we talked a little bit about Luthen's dual personality. What about Mon Mothma having to go to him to explain that things are getting dicey out there in the Senate? How was that scene for her? Finally seeing Mon Mothma. Yes, she's here.
I felt awful for her, honestly, because she doesn't, between this scene and later scenes, she doesn't seem to have a lot of people she can trust.
Yeah.
And for the first time, when she lets her guard down barely, she looks terrified.
Yeah.
That she doesn't know what she can do. This is some of the darkest days, because this is still pre-Rebels. This is some of the darkest days for her before she goes through all that. And seeing that, because she always makes it look effortless when she's on screen, that, and you realize that there's a lot of tension, even because she can't even show her true face to the rebellion, because the rebellion needs her to be someone else too. Yeah,
because she has to be the one in the Senate, kind of putting that face that, we're still fine. We kind of don't like what the Empire is doing, but we're still kind of part of this whole thing. But yeah, Oti, then she kind of saying, I've gone to the banks, new faces. I'm the first one. Don't talk to me about consequences or something, because I'm going to be the first one to fall. We also see that she's kind of bankrolling the rebellion. Where are they getting all this money? It's her. She's moving money around. Which again, it's not something we get in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe we get the banking clan at some point, but that scene with Mon Mothma, then she said, oh, I'm trying to bring someone new in. Is she talking about Bail? There's someone else out there we're not thinking about?
I mean, you think that if it goes with Revenge of the Sith, that Bail is already on her side.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know how much is still there.
It's Sabe, and we're getting Natalie Portman.
Dude, you should have
Keira
done
Knightley?
we just do the whole part of the Caribbean thing. Bring it full circle.
Oh yeah. Well, no, yeah, we're getting Keira Knightley. I'm so
If
sorry, Keira
I was
Knightley.
going to say, if we get Keira Knightley or I will die. If we get Natalie Portman, you're going to have to pick me up off the floor of my apartment.
By the way, I just want to mention something. Mon Mothma.
Stop telling Mo to behave. She's fine. She's fine.
She is right. Ooh, she put someone else in there. If you want to highlight that, Oti, real quick.
Oh, Commander Sato.
Maybe. I'm not.
Perhaps.
It could
that
be.
she's trying to reach out to Saw Gerrera. Is this where they were working together before they broke with the rebellion?
I think I went to Rogue One, but I don't know if I went to Saw Gerrera, but I don't know if he's already working with Luthen. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's already working with Luthen.
Those on Ryloth? Are they going to try and reach Ryloth?
The Mon Calamari?
That's where I was going. What if it's
Could we get Radis?
a certain Mon Calamari? Should we get Rados? That's going to be a great one.
We were talking during Podathon to Gary Whitta, who wrote the original story for Rogue One, and he was telling us something interesting that you would like, Odie. So they were trying to bring in Admiral Akbar for Rogue One, but they were putting him in Force Awakens and Last Jedi, so they chose to not put him in Rogue One because they thought it would be too much. So they said, well, we still want the big Mon Calamari cruisers. Let's make another one, and they invented Admiral Raddus.
The right choice. Because Rados, sorry for it now, there is 100 times better than Akbar.
I believe that I might have squealed, I love Raddus, before I remembered that I was supposed to be an adult.
Oh my god, look at who's here. We got
here?
Buck being grumpy.
Hope there are a lot of cameos or known characters in Andor. I don't think we'll get a lot of cameos. Maybe we know Saw Gerrera's coming.
We're gonna get Kenobi. We're gonna get Quinlan Voss. We're gonna get
Ahsoka's gonna be there. Thrawn.
The one character I do not want in this show is Ahsoka, unless it's a very small reference because Cassian also worked as a fulcrum for a while.
Yes.
That's precisely why I think she could be on the show.
Tiny season 2, but please don't do this to me.
I'm thinking that since, as far as I know, Dave Filoni doesn't have anything to do with his show, and he's the only one that worked with Ahsoka. I don't think he'll say
it's time to break the. I mean, it's the same company. They can just bring him on set that day and.
No, I tweeted this morning or this afternoon that Thrawn makes perfect sense for this world. This Andor world, Thrawn kind of works perfectly. But I don't know. I have zero. Nothing. It's not gonna be. We're gonna. I thought we saw her. It's just Vel. Vel is Rey's mom. There we go.
It's 2016 all over again.
Oh man.
Okay. Buck agrees with Ahsoka. Yes.
He agrees with you, which doesn't bode well for me when Buck is here in a couple of months, or I don't know when. He'll be here. We set the date. He'll be here soon also.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone's coming.
Get back on track.
Yes, we can't. But it's funny that when Luthen goes to Vel, hey, we have a new guy, and she's like, this late? Yeah, it's happening, and you shut up. And then he gets the same thing. He's like, this late? We can do this. And she's like,
every single person whose manager has ever brought them a new team member right before a deadline, and you're like, we got a new team member at my work on our busiest day of the year, and we're like, thank you, HR. This was the day we needed. So we're like, look, just keep up. It's fine. Don't ask questions.
Yes. It's like
4 weeks.
I've been in that position when you get a new person, you didn't even interview. This is your new employee to fill that position, but I don't know who they are. But it's fun again, and they just keep with this dual personality as they're walking out, just not to spend too much time in the back to kind of raise suspicions for this new driver. Take this gift with you, and if you don't like it, bring it back. I hope you know when to make that decision or something. Kind of, we know what. If you don't think that guy's gonna work out, just pull the plug. So I love that whole scene in whatever name Oti gave the place, the cabinet of cameos or whatever it was.
The gallery of cameos or Easter eggs.
All right, so Rachel, you wanted to talk about this. From there, let's follow with Mon Mothma. She goes home after a long day's work, gets home, and
apparently she married a real piece of work.
Perrin is there. Oh, I heard I got a gift, and we have a party coming with these senators or governors. Talk to me about Perrin. And let's talk to me about Perrin first.
Apparently, so I heard there's some updates from Vanity Fair. Apparently, Mon Mothma has a kid.
Yes.
That we don't know about.
Oti,
they've been married since she was 16.
That we had heard before.
Yes.
And also, he's a sorry, am I allowed to say that? I censored myself, but he's an asshole, and I really hope. At this point, I'm not going with divorce him. I'm really hoping she chucks him out a window, because at this point,
there's a word for that kind of guy in Puerto Rico. It's called a bambalang. He's a bambalang. Because he's not evil. I don't think he's an Empire true believer. He's just like this.
He likes the power.
He's just a waste of space.
Yeah,
oxygen.
With his stupid little bun.
That man bun from 2017. 2014. Jon Snow man bun. So I was gonna ask you guys, he's not 100% an Imperial. Is he benefiting just from the position that they are? They're senators, high class. He doesn't want to kind of knock the hornet's nest. But also, it seems to me like these getting political type of Republicans that were, I don't agree with everything that Trump is doing in this section, but I agree with him. No, you take the whole thing. You cannot separate it. So I think he's that type of guy. I don't agree with the Empire doing X, but I agree with Y.
To make the trains run on time.
Yeah, and then go ahead.
I don't like that he's racist, but I'll take fascism for my tax breaks.
It's just a little bit racist, yeah.
If you've got one Nazi at a table and 11 people that eat with them, you got 12 Nazis.
Yeah.
So Oti, the chat isn't too happy with Perrin, right? What are they saying?
It's too much to keep up, man. Divorce him.
Arranged marriage, he hates him.
Buck hates him. Once again, Milf Mothma.
Do not censor Mo. She's right.
Look at this.
Wait. No, you go.
Space Lord Farquaad. That he is. Perfect. Can you get the divorce in Chandrila? Buck, I don't know, but
that's why she just needs to kill him. And I would not blame her.
We don't agree with murder, but
she's not a Jedi, so
that's the problem. Is like when I see that, I'm like, look, just kill him. And my sister's like, cool motive, still murder, and I'm like, but is it though?
Yeah.
I just want to say, that scene was great, but I agree with what Rachel said a couple minutes ago. Like, this woman has not 1 second of peace. Oh my God, Roberto's in the chat.
Roberto.
Hi, Roberto.
I'm waiting to hear back from Roberto about the date. I think I sent you a date to be here. No, you answer back. You're right. I'm just waiting on 2 other people. You will be here soon also. That's going to be another fun show.
But Mon Mothma literally has not 1 second of peace, because even at home, she can't trust her husband. Like, because he thinks Sly Moore is cool.
I hope that they have separate bedrooms so she can at least like go scream into a pillow, but I feel like they don't, and I feel like she has to be on.
Sly Moore is horrible. Like, she knows who Palpatine is, and she's like, yeah, cool.
So are we going to get something similar to that dinner scene from Catalyst, where everyone thinks that Mon Mothma is having an affair with Bail and all this? Sorry?
Princess of Alderaan.
Yeah, sorry, there you go. They all kind of blend in.
My God, that would be the best scene of all time.
Because we already see that their marriage is not on the same wavelength. And he's bringing all these governors or senators from his past, mention Sly. I think we might be able to get something like that. And it's gonna be the way this show it has been written. Oh, I can't wait for that. Like she says, oh, I'll be there. But if you ask me to pay attention, you're going to regret it, because I'm going to tell them why they're closing all these shipping lanes of fun people that you talk about. Oh, man, that was so great. Slap.
By the way,
it's me at my family Thanksgiving. Look, I'll be there. But if you actually make me talk to people, you're not going to have a good time.
This is literally like if AOC got home and Ted Cruz, Jeff Bezos, Matt Gaetz were all there like, hey, we're having dinner.
Yeah. Oh man, it's kind of those dinners in House of Dragons where when Daemon shows up, it's like, oh my God, he's here, but we gotta sit him at the table.
Yeah.
It's the same scene, like I said, every family has at Thanksgiving when you're like, okay, we're going in, we're not talking about this. Or in the words of my mother, you know what? Talk to your sister. You two will not get into trouble if you just only talk to each other.
Yeah. All right, so we haven't talked about the Imperial, the ISB. I forget whatever special bureau.
Security.
The Imperial Security Bureau. They walk into this. We have Deidre Miro just walking into this. First, Coruscant. Coruscant on the Empire role. Just looks completely different.
Looks awesome.
It looks great, but we're used to all the lights and all the ships going and all the neon colors. Here's just all cement and stuff. It's business.
By the way, quick pause. Bug is mentioning Gorman. Gorman is the country that the planet she mentions that got the shipping lanes cut off. Mm-hmm. And that's a very important planet because there's a massacre that goes on there. That's what causes Mon Mothma to officially say, no, we got to do something. So... Yeah. I was thinking about the name earlier, but I couldn't remember. But yes, thank you, Buck.
Of course, Buck remembers.
Yeah, that's why he's going to be in the finale.
That's why we keep Buck around.
The finale. Oh,
the trivia finale.
Okay, so let's take another detour here. I haven't talked to Audie about this. I'm making plans, and he doesn't know. But we're going to go with the Andor recaps till the end, which I think is the last Saturday of November. And that will also be our Season 5 finale.
Okay.
We'll take a week off. I
won't be here for the finale, by the way. We talked about this earlier.
You're never here.
I'm taking myself out.
No, that's fine. You get over. So then December 3rd, we'll take that week off. And then December 10th, we're coming with the trivia finale, which has Buck here, Eli, Connor, and Caleb from Mando Talk. It's going to be December 10th. And then we're probably going to be off the rest of the year and come back at some point in January with Season 6.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back. ISB, Yachty. They showed up.
I screamed.
Put everyone on notice, and I loved every single millisecond of his presence and everyone. But that scene.
Let's just quickly mention, we've heard about the ISB so many times in books. We've read about them so many times. Everyone from the First Order used to be ex-ISB, and we finally see them. Oh my God, I was so happy.
And they're stuck in bureaucracy like the rest of the Empire.
I'm getting ahead of myself, but I love, back to my love for the incompetency of the Empire, but he's like, you may have a point about the rebellion, but you didn't file your paperwork.
Yeah.
He's the chick from Monsters, Inc., Wazowski. You didn't file your paper.
Wazowski, always watching.
By the way, Deidre, I love her. Can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see her team up
I
with
just
Cyril Karn.
I feel for her as like a young woman in a position like that. Sorry, not to make Star Wars political again, but I feel it.
I think she's horrible, and
Oh, God, me
that
too, yeah.
environment's gonna make her worse. Like,
yeah, and we know. Go ahead.
The way she walks in is that she has to have everything absolutely perfect to be part of this, like this, because she's new to the ISB. Her coat is perfect, her hair is perfect, her bun is perfect, her hat is at a regulation angle, and they still ignore her.
yeah,
Twice. Twice.
You know who's not gonna ignore her?
Who?
Cyril Karn, when he sees
no.
that perfect symmetry and
Dude, they're the same.
Look,
just
she's
that
very
she's
pretty.
not
That's why I love
incompetent.
her.
She's
If
like,
she
if she
wasn't
don't,
a space fascist, she's very pretty.
I think she's as much as a twerp as Cyril Karn. Like,
yeah, but she's good at her job. Cyril
She has
isn't.
a certain level of skill and competence and doesn't look like, I saw someone describe Cyril as a wet chihuahua. He kind of looks like a wet chihuahua.
I loved Maggie's
Mother.
description as a twerp.
Yeah.
He's Dwight Schrute.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah, they're gonna be great together because she's gonna find the only person down there that's gonna get her some information on the NS9 star path that she wants, and who's the criminal they're looking for. He has that information, so they're gonna attack together, and she's the person that he's just going to. You're my mentor now. You're my muse. I need you because you're the same.
He's gonna follow her around like a puppy dog.
Yeah, but everything, Rachel, when that scene there in the ISB office or whatever, again, like you mentioned, putting everyone on notice, kind of, yeah, everything you said is true, but we don't care. That might be verbatim from the ISB manual, but it's wrong because we're in healthcare. Do you enjoy this guy, Portagas? Hopefully you get more of him.
I just want to slap him, to be entirely honest. I'm just sitting here going, your hair looks stupid. You're stupid. We're not doing anything good for the galaxy. But that's the mark of, it's somebody like Krennic. It's somebody you can see existing in a position that's not in the Empire. You can see them existing in our world because it's these villains that are the actual villains, not the space wizard with the red sword.
Yeah,
that's not something. But these are the villains that we see.
I agree.
Yeah. And I love every single second of every time
that speech when he's like, we're not here for security, we're here to fix problems, identify them and fix them.
And the sooner we can figure it out, the less things progress. And it's just really creepy.
And here's Mira, like, I have this huge problem I identified. No, file your paperwork.
Yeah, because she's like, I have a feeling, right? Or a gut feeling that we have this rebellion or these other cells are gonna turn. We don't care about feelings. And I have one of my ex-boss. She was my boss. I was middle manager, basically. I have people under me. And just sitting, hopefully, Denise, you're not watching this. She would say at one time, people would go to her, some of our employees, and say, oh, I feel this or I feel that. And she's like, we're not here about feelings. We're here to do this, that, or whatever. And I'm like, ugh. But so every time I would talk to her about something, I would kind of emphasize feelings as I feel, because I know she didn't like that word. But here, he's like, feelings don't matter. Give me proof that there's an organized rebellion, and then we'll deal with it. Because, like Otis said,
you can't get proof unless you go looking for proof, and they won't let her look for.
Nope.
That's why we brought you here. He has 6 sectors. You have 2. Great in getting those arrest numbers up above quota. We'll get you more of those. Like, oh man, that's what they care about. Just arresting people, whatever word he used. I love them. They were great.
It's like if they'd listened to her, like, this man is about to become the biggest problem in the galaxy after Darth Vader. Like, I mean, think about it. If they'd listened to her, they could have probably won.
This. Yeah.
But no.
She needs to get in touch with, and we mentioned her last time during our Andor kind of speculation. I forgot her name again. Buck probably will say in a minute. The chicken rebels works with Thrawn with the short black hair and blue eyes.
Pride?
She's in
What is
Luthen.
it? Not Pride. Price.
Erinda Price, yes. They should get together. Give me Price here. She will work great also in this.
Give me Pride also.
Yes, Pride.
And Kennedy.
Kennedy would just be
younger. That's a good use of de-aging. Just bring those two, de-age them a little bit.
I love Kennedy in the case that he is clearly so annoyed that Hux is speaking to him.
Again, give me a Pride and Kennedy book. And throw Price in there, whatever.
Oh, it'd be great.
Mo says that Deidre forgot that the fascists aren't down with feminism. And it's like, that's the thing. It's the same problem I have with Price. I'm like, they're just, it's not making it any better for you. You're just ignoring the parts that are terrible for you because you're hurting someone else.
Yes.
This could be, I just listened to a Audible book about women in white nationalist structures, which are also generally misogynistic. And I'm just like, they're not for you. How can you? But if you can excuse that part of it, you can stay on top.
Yeah. It's the Empire. Gotta hate them. But it was great. This whole episode, like I said at the beginning, is what I've wanted from this series. And again, the direction, the writing, everything has been stellar.
The poncho. The poncho.
Oh,
the poncho game is on point. Come on.
Killer poncho.
TIE fighters in atmosphere was so great. And I think next week, because we've seen in the trailer, is a Star Destroyer. I think it's on the same planet. I think I think there's a part when when the contact comes into Aldan and goes, hey, this is how much time we have or whatever. And when they're asking, hey, why the increased patrol? And says, oh, we have a senator or a governor or someone coming from Coruscant or something. Mm-hmm. Can we get someone that we know, or just someone from Coruscant is going to disrupt their plan?
It's probably Governor. I was gonna make a joke and I blanked. Sorry.
It's not the
they
first
mentioned
time.
At some point some other Imperial scientists, and we know some Imperial scientists working at this time.
They didn't mention Scarif, so they
increased. They did, and I screamed. Like,
are we gonna get Ben Mendelsohn?
If we get Ben Mendelsohn, don't bother checking on me. I'm dead.
I've been saying it for a while. Yes. I think he fits perfectly.
I think Ben Mendelsohn would do it again because that man had way too much fun.
Yeah, I think Tony Gilroy would like to work with him again. So hopefully.
Yeah. Come on.
If we get Mads Mikkelsen, like even in a glimpse, I'll just resuscitate me. I'm dead. My friends and I just finished watching Casino Royale. So.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Great one. All right. Oti, any final thoughts on episode 4? Hoping to see episode 5, or where do you think it's taking us?
I don't know where it's taking us. I'm just here for the ride. It was a phenomenal episode, and I just wanted to be this consistent because it's been great. It's honestly been. I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite Star Wars anything. I'm gonna wait until the show ends probably to make that choice, but it's been phenomenal.
Rachel, kind of same question. Are you loving everything?
I am so in for this. The Rebellion is my Star Wars. I'm so here for this. And any way that we can see the same sort of things that we see in Rebels, not obviously exactly the same, but that birth of a rebellion, which is what Diego Luna talked about wanting to do in this. And he's giving an amazing performance. And can we all just thank that we have actors like Diego Luna in Star Wars who are not only phenomenal actors and directors. He doesn't direct in this, but if you do both, speaking as someone in theater, if you do both, you kind of can see what works and what doesn't. Mm-hmm. If you have input, it's beautiful.
Yes. I mean, I said at the beginning, said a couple of seconds ago, just giving me everything I hope to see from this series. Next week, again, I think if since each 3-episode blocks, it's kind of the same kind of story going forward. I think we're gonna see this mission of Aldani get messed up with this Star Destroyer getting that we've seen from the clips and the trailers when they escaping, kind of rappelling down. I think we're seeing Saw Gerrera next week. I think that's where Luthen is going to be. We'll see what happens. Loving it. I've been kind of down that each episode is a different length, but I think 3 of the 4 have been around 40 minutes, so it's not bad. It's a good consistency. But sometimes the episodes kind of end abruptly. This one, hey, can I eat my food? Boom, it's over. It's like,
to be fair, that's how I end a lot of conversations. Can I please finish my food?
Yeah.
I will say that's probably my only criticism of the show. Like, it shows it was meant to be like these three episode stories, and it's, I mean, like, I'm fine with it. I'm patient, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah, Roberto, you should have been here when we talked about our friend Perrin. Everyone was wishing bad things on Perrin, but yeah.
Yep.
Somebody suggested defenestration, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, defenestration, throwing someone out the window.
Yeah,
there's a word for it. It's great. It's my favorite word, and now you can all use it too.
He's gonna fall for like 3 days if
it is a long way down.
Coruscant, it's infinite.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm trying to remember what the movie was. There's a movie where it's the TV show Sherlock. They call the ambulance and they're describing, you should come get this guy. He's in really bad shape. He tried to break in, but he fell out the window. The villain had not fallen out the window at this point, but they're describing to him what they're going to do to him before they pushed him out the window. And that is what I wish upon Perrin.
Yeah. So like that clip. Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Mon Mothma, not for me.
Yeah. All right, that kind of brings an end to our Andor talk. We all love the episode. Can't wait to see more next week. In about 4 days or 3 days. That's a great thing right now. There's so much stuff on TV that by the time you're kind of, let me relax, it's right back there.
That's the part I loved about being on vacation. I was leaving. I left with my 3 episodes, and I came back to a new episode. I was ready.
All right, and with that, we jump to our new segment, which is not new. We've been doing it for a few weeks now, where we talk about something else that is in Star Wars, A World Between Fandoms. So, here we go. Talk about other things around Star Wars that unfortunately our guests haven't watched too much of. So I'll try to be as
Go, Alberto. Do it. Do what you want to do.
Rings of Power, episode 6.
Talk about things that you're excited about, Alberto.
The greatest TV episode in the history of TV episodes. All right, maybe no, but it was close. I said last week, Oti, how much I love episode 5. You enjoyed it, but weren't as hyped for it as I was.
No.
This one is all action, all battle, and I'll be vague again because Rachel hasn't caught up. We haven't watched it, but oh man, the ending is what everyone's talking about, and it changes the whole season and the whole series and the way it's gonna go. It's something that we knew, what we hope was gonna happen at some point, maybe not in season 1, but it happened. And episodes 7 and 8 now it's gonna be interesting to see how this season ends. Arondir and Bronwyn, which I love their love story. This finally they get together. To me, their scene felt like Kenobi and Satine when Kenobi is basically saying, if you told me to leave the Jedi Order, I would. That's how I felt, because being an elf and a human, you're not supposed to get together.
Yeah, and the minute they're called to leave, he goes to do something else.
Yeah, but here he's professing his love and telling them what the future is going to be, and we're going, you, me, and Theo. He doesn't leave her son away, who doesn't like him. We're all going, after this, we're all just going to be together. I just love that scene because it was missing in the last few episodes. Numenor and their horses galloping to battle to help the Southland. Not galloping, because they were going down that field, which is something I love in Star Wars. Take your help. You don't need to hear this, Oti. It was just awesome. You're just seeing my face right now. That's fine. But But it all goes down to Adar, Halbrand, and Galadriel. Their battle at the end. Galadriel just with her horse and saying the same words that Arwen tells her horse in Fellowship. Not what is it? I got it here. Not all in, just to make it go faster. And it kind of puts a little bit more emphasis in all the Halbrand talk. If she Sauron, if she one of the 9, the fallen kings of men, is he the ghost king? We don't know. Kind of mentioned last time that I thought that him and Adar had some past, and they do have a past, but Adar doesn't remember who he is. I'm not gonna say. Kind of puts a little bit more that he might be Sauron, because Adar kind of mentioned he killed Sauron, which we know is not true. I think he thinks he killed Sauron. Sauron then transformed or changed his appearance to Halbrand. And then it's coming back after getting some reinforcement, getting some more strength under him. But the whole scene, the first battle was great. The last battle was awesome. And then, of course, the ending. I'm going to say it's spoilers. Don't hear if you want to. So Oti doesn't see it's Mount Doom. When we get Mount Doom, and the creation of it was just great. I don't know. This episode, I could go on and on, but just talking by myself, it's kind of weird. But all right, that's it. You can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good for now.
Okay.
I'm
I
just
could
here
go
to
on.
watch you be excited about things, because watching people talk about things they love is always fun.
One
Alberto,
more-
are there spoilers in the chat? 'Cause
no.
I closed the chat.
No, I'll do
You're
it for you.
good.
But no,
Okay.
Bug has to go. Thanks for being here, Bug. We'll see you in a few weeks. Hopefully, your mother-in-law feels well soon.
Yes.
Roberto's been loving this show because I know he tweets about it every second.
Yes,
he just
I've
says
seen it.
Galadriel is her favorite. I said last week when Galadriel got in the boat with the Numeronians to go to Middle Earth, everyone just loved seeing her. Everyone
In the
kind of
sun.
in awe. And here, when she finally reaches the village and Theo sees her, he's like, "Who's that?" And it's not a spoiler. Anyway, she gets it. Anyway, it's great. Roberto, just put in the chat how much you're loving it. It's great.
I really can't wait to see it.
All right. And then Amy is adding, "I'm totally here for that tender around the Bronwyn moment, juxtaposed with all the amazing action." Yes, Amy, you can. It was a great episode. I think might be my favorite of the season. We just put so many things in motion for the last 2. We didn't get anything with the Hardfoots or the Stranger, with the Dwarves. So we're getting all that next episode, and then probably episode 8, everything comes together.
But so no Elrond also?
No Elrond and no
So
Durin.
It's really just
It's
wow,
just
okay.
the Numenor and Galadriel going to the Southlands to help them battle the orcs. That's
Oh
the
my
whole
God.
70 minutes of it.
Holy.
And the ending. Just watch it. Do this again. I watched it twice yesterday. I'll probably watch it again before this weekend is over. 'Cause I love
Okay.
this so much. The orcs, Uruks, like Adar says, are they trying to humanize the orcs? And I'll leave you with that. I won't say no. They're not, but a little. There's a little bit of Adar throwing things at Galadriel's face, kind of, you're a little bit of a hypocrite. But watch
Okay.
it, and then DM me your thoughts when you watch it.
I will. I
I
promise.
think at some point I'm gonna have to do a whole episode just recapping Rings of Power because I just love it.
I'll be down for it.
All right, so let's go real quick to House of the Dragon. Have you watched House of the Dragon, Rachel, or no?
I have not. I was never a huge Game of Thrones fan. The
Okay.
problem is I like to hear other people's theories about it, so I generally read summaries to hear what everybody's talking about and look at the pictures of the pretty costumes.
They are pretty. We talked
They're
about
very
that last
pretty.
week. The
They're
costume designs.
insane.
And I should have said at the beginning, we now have on our YouTube page a whole separate playlist just for A World Between Fandoms. So if people can't catch them as we're doing the show, the live shows, or just want to see that part, I'll put a link somewhere here later so you guys can watch it. But all our episodes are going to be there. Oti, this is the first episode that now we have the older cast. So
Yes.
Rhaenyra, Alicent kind of got switched because it's been 10 years.
Yes,
You know more about the lore for this one than I do. Does this kind of make sense with the way the story is told? And did you enjoy the new actors?
I did. Emma Darcy plays Rhaenyra, and I think Emma Darcy was incredible as Rhaenyra.
Yes.
And there was a high bar. I can't remember the actress's name when Rhaenyra is young, but she did a phenomenal job. And now with
Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock, she did a phenomenal job. And now with Emma Darcy, we're getting that older Rhaenyra. It was a little bit, has a little bit more experience, but I think she's still Rhaenyra deep down, and she still has a lot to grow and a lot to learn. I think Rhaenyra is a little bit naive in the sense that I think she thinks her position as heir is safe, and it's not in any way, shape, or form. And I think that's what these next episodes are going to be. Because in this episode, she has to know, Alicent is cooking up something. And
I think by the end, she kind of knows when she proposes, let's have our kids marry each other and be done with this. She kind of knows right there. And Alice is like,
Alicent has her read like a book because she's desperate. But dude, Alicent is just horrible. She's so petty, and she's so, I don't know what the word is in English, acompleja.
Okay.
She thinks everyone's against her. I love that scene when she's saying that they need impartial people. They should bring her father.
Yes.
They go like, he's not impartial. And she's like, well, he's partial to me.
Oh, man. It's entitlement. And then
Olivia Cook.
She's great.
How far of a prequel is this to Game of Thrones?
200 years.
Okay. So it's like the High Republic of Game of Thrones.
Yes. So I was afraid, like you said out there, with the changing of the actresses and actors, because I really started loving what Millie Alcock had done with Rhaenyra. She had become one of my favorite characters by the end of episode 5. To now change, I was scared for it, but yeah, she's just killing it.
I know that Emily Clark, who plays Alicent, and Millie Alcock are in talks for season 2. So hopefully there's a way to bring them back, because we're skipping a lot of story here to get to the Dance of Dragons, which is the big event. So hopefully there's a way to integrate them into the story, because they were phenomenal. But
they were great.
I'm loving the show. It's so consistent. It still reminds me of that early 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. It's very dialogue driven, very, very character and drama driven, but I think it's just one of the best things out there right now.
Yeah, it is great because it focuses on this. It's about the Targaryens. We don't need to worry about all the other 6 houses. Yeah, they show up, but they're not. Yeah,
I just love that. It's so focused on this dynamic.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm afraid of going forward, they introduce so many new characters with all the kids. Then again, who's your father or your mom? We never know it here anyway, as we find out as the episode goes on. There's a lot of new younger characters. You've read the story. Are they're prominent going on? Do you think we're gonna see a lot of them?
More so Alicent's kids.
Okay. Yeah, because they're the ones that are trying, like she said, you're supposed to be king. We're gonna try and get you there.
If I'm not mistaken, they're also gonna get recast sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Because there's gonna be another time jump.
And hopefully by then Viserys is gone, because he's hanging by a thread.
He's Palpatine on Exegol.
Yes. Just move me around.
How is he alive? I don't know. And I'm so
he was
sorry.
dying 10 years ago. How is he alive?
Yes.
Fight.
Yes. He just wants to see his wife and his daughter get along, which they will never.
That scene where he's so happy seeing his grandkids and his kids playing, he's like, oh, they're gonna make such a good group. No, they're not.
And then they start fighting. And then the big thing. So let's talk about Sir Gawain Strong, because you and Maggie last week put me on such a high. Oh, you can't wait for Gawain. He's gonna be so great. You're gonna love him, and then he's dead. But I love everything. The first half of this episode was my favorite. When he's there with freaking Kristen Cole, I love that he got beat up for kind of, that's something that you just say for someone close to you, like a cousin or this, or a son. And he just freaking bam.
Yep.
I thought he was going to kill him. And I was there. We just said we don't condone murder, but Kristen Cole kind of talking bad about
it's gonna get worse.
Okay, you can't go into a segment about something Game of Thrones related and be like, we don't condone murder. Isn't that the point of this show?
Yeah, just for some people. And Kristen Cole deserves it. Just like Allison, they just took a turn these 10 years just hating Allison. Allison, the baby.
That first scene is just horrific, and it's so well shot.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It's a great one shot all the way up these stairs. You gonna come? Yeah. Oh, so great. And then when she throws, I forget the name, to Valerian. I don't know the name of Lane or Valerian went, oh, maybe keep trying. Maybe one of them will look like you're like, oh no, I hate you now. She's are the worst.
She's horrible.
Yeah, it was a great episode. And then tomorrow we'll get that. The only thing I didn't like, which is now I'm kind of contradicting myself, because one of the things I do like is how quickly it moves, that it doesn't take 5 episodes to go from point A to point B. Just, we got to get there. We're there. I thought it was kind of a cheap shot the way they just killed Harrenhal, burn it down too easy. Like, you guys used to be murderers. Go do this. Everyone's dead and it burned it. Really? That's it?
I agree. It happened way too fast. And not sure where Harrenhal is. I just, there's something I always like to comment on. Like, I love that Rhaenyra is like, we got to get out of here. We got to go to Dragonstone. Yeah. If it's Dragonstone is like far, far away. Dragonstone is right next to King's Landing. Like, right next to it.
Yeah. All right. So let's finish this. Daemon. We didn't get to talk too much about Daemon. He doesn't want to do anything else with the crown. He just wants to settle down.
He's changed.
He's a changed man. He's got daughters. He cared more about his wife than Viserys did. I think he wasn't going to go through with it in terms of doing a C-section, knowing that his wife was going to die. But then she kind of takes matters into her own hand and goes to this Godzilla of a dragon that she has, and then just burns.
That's actually a change they made to how she dies, but I kind of liked it because it parallels Daemon's and Viserys' choice, and because they're faced with the same choice, and Daemon chooses the other.
Yeah. All right. So next week it's gonna be great. Daemon and Rhaenyra. If she goes to Dragonstone, he's gonna...
Daemon is single and ready to Rhaenyra. And that's his niece. Yay.
Yes. The only reason I was hoping that Gerwin Strong didn't kill Kristen Cole is because I know that they have to have a rematch. Kristen and Daemon need to have that rematch, but Buck, who just left, said he hopes that Rhaenyra is the one that ends up killing Kristen Cole.
I don't remember how he dies right now.
But he dies. That's all we can.
I mean, he's dead in Game of Thrones, so yeah.
I mean, it's 200 years.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
Eventually.
Hey, it didn't knock Yoda out with the High Republic.
Yeah. All right, so Rings of Power episode 7 next Friday, and then tomorrow episode 7 of House of the Dragon is going to be great. Now that the characters are kind of a little bit more time with the older cast. Oh, yes, Mo, you're all right. It is. We'll take that out. All right, so She-Hulk. Rachel, have you watched She-Hulk?
I have not. I'm being a very, very bad guest on this show.
I haven't watched it, and I'm a co-host.
Oti hasn't watched it. He says every week, he says, I'll watch it, but he'll wait.
I said I'll watch it eventually.
I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I'm just here for how mad people are getting
the twerking
about twerking. Because I'm like, really? Like, that's your problem?
Again, and I saw that tweets about twerking before I show the episode, and it happens in a post-credit scene for about 5 seconds. So if you're mad about that, then that's on you. But like Roberto's saying, it's a fun show, and that's the only thing you need to know going into it. Don't expect this to be the biggest MCU superhero show with the biggest connection. It's a fun 30 minutes, and that's what each episode is. And that's what I've loved about the last 4. This past episode was pretty fun also. I seen both sides because she basically ends up going to therapy with this bunch of like D-rated superheroes that she meets with Abomination. But they just cannot talk. She's been ghosted by this guy she was seeing, and then they kind of talk her through it. I've seen some good things. People saying, yeah, it was great having someone express their feelings in a superhero show and all that, and all these guys kind of helping out. And also see other people. She has all these female friends and guy friends that she knows. Why isn't she confiding in them instead of a bunch of strangers that she just met? She could have had a different outlet. Plus, it's an episode directed and written by a male director instead of having one of the female directors kind of touch on some of those points, especially the ending of the episodes. Of this episode, the way it ends, when they kind of show you why the guy is ghosting her, it's kind of can be triggering to some people. Maybe it wasn't handled the best way. So I understand that part. But as a fun 30-minute show, it works. And that's what I love about it. All the superhero stuff happening in the background is the thing like, I don't really care about that. Let me just have fun for 30 minutes. In that sense, I'm really enjoying it. So I think it's only about 2 more episodes, so it might be ending soon. And then, OT, you can watch it. If you finish Miss Marvel, which you hadn't finished a while back.
Miss Marvel is great.
Did you finish Miss Marvel?
Let's go.
Okay, Rachel.
I have not watched Miss Marvel. I'm not a huge Marvel fan.
That's fine. I'm messing with OT because he said it like 5 weeks ago. He hadn't finished, so
I haven't finished. I still haven't watched the finale.
Okay.
I'm terrible with TV shows, guys. I'm terrible.
Look, I can. When they were talking about possibly airing Andor and Bad Batch at the same time, I'm like, I can't do it. I can't keep up with 2 shows at once. I don't know how Alberto is doing 4 shows right now. I can't do it. My brain doesn't work like that.
We gotta go, but when is Bad Batch coming out?
2023, right?
It's
January?
2023.
January 2023, I believe.
Okay.
So it's called Working From Home on Wednesdays and Fridays.
I also do that, but I still have to
Same
work.
We all work from don't tell my coworkers and my
Alberto is not. Just let it be on record. Alberto is not working.
I am
I'm
on
kidding,
Microsoft Teams on my phone. I get my work phone transferred to my cell phone. Dude, I'm being serious. I get more work. People call me more on my off days or working from home than when I'm at my office. It's like they know.
It happens. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
And then all the numbers from work come up as likely spam. And I'm like, I still have to answer it.
All right. I want to thank, apart from thanking, of course, Oti and Rachel for being here. Let me thank
the chat
Mo,
was great.
Bog, Amy, Roberto, Dale, everyone that showed up today. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that like. We forgot to talk about it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We've lost 2 subscribers on YouTube, so hopefully we can get that up. But we're here to have fun. If you didn't like it, there was something you didn't like. I say we fight. What Choice Fundraiser? Rachel, thanks for being here. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me. You can find me on Followers of the Force when we record. We're all our main host is in Orlando, so there's been some weather. But so you can find me on there. You can find me on Twitter at Built on Stardust, and I run the Twitter account for the What Choice fundraiser. We're trying to get our last 2,000 to hit that 50,000 mark. So we're going to be announcing some new raffles soon. So follow me at What Choice 22.
All right, check that out. That's a great fundraiser, guys. They great with that, and all the fans, everyone that supported that when it was going on and still going on. And you can get Oti's great shirt over there also, supporting What Choice. Oti, just say what you always say.
Come on, guys. Whatever it says down there, just follow that on Twitter and Instagram. And Alberto leaves the show notes.
It's there. It's in the show notes. You can find all the links for Oti, for Rachel, for all the fundraisers. Everything's down there in the chat. Thanks again for everyone that joined us. We'll be here next week with our friend Norhal. Stay safe. Be safe. May the force be with you.